Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Sunday, September 1st, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with WWE Bash in Berlin, streamed live yesterday on Peacock and the WWE Network from the Uber Arena in Berlin, Germany. In the main event, Gunther retained the World Heavyweight title against Randy Orton, putting him out with a sleeper hold at 34 minutes and 28 seconds.
On his return to his adopted hometown of Berlin, Germany. Family and friends in attendance, over 13,000 strong, wishing him to keep the World Heavyweight title. And in the end, Gunther defeats one of the all-time greats in Randy Orton to solidify himself on the top of the mountain in WWE as the World Heavyweight Champion.
This was Gunther's first televised defense of the title, which he won at SummerSlam. The opening match saw WWE Champion Cody Rhodes also emerge victorious, successfully defending the title against Kevin Owens in 26 minutes and 10 seconds. The match marked Owens' first world title shot since facing Roman Reigns at the 2023 Royal Rumble. New women's tag team champions were crowned on the card as Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill regained the title from Alba Fire and Isla Dawn in 12 minutes and 2 seconds.
Into that German suplex, cover by Cargill with a new tag team champions.
Here are your winners and the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
Fire and Dawn had first won the title from Cargill and Belair in June at Clash at the Castle. In other results, CM Punk defeated Drew McIntyre in a strap match in 19 minutes and 15 seconds, and the team of Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest beat Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan when Ripley pinned Morgan in 14 minutes and 20 seconds. AEW presented Collision last night on TNT, live from the Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. In the main event, Hikaru Shida won a four-way match over Queen Aminata, Thunder Rosa, and Serena Deeb to earn a shot at TBS champion Mercedes Moné next weekend at All Out. Shida pinned Aminata for the win.
The winner, Hikaru Shida.
Hikaru Shida will go on to face Mercedes Moné for the TBS title coming up in 1 week at All Out. That's right. There you see it. It's official right now at All Out next Saturday live on pay-per-view.
In the opening six-man encounter, the Conglomeration and Johnny TV bested the Beast Mortos and Lee Moriarty when Hologram pinned TV. The Grizzled Young Veterans attacked FTR after FTR's win over the Undisputed Kingdom.
What John Moxley might have said, this is his... Oh, wait a second.
The Grizzled Young Veterans, Drake and Gibson are here. Down goes
Dax the Axe got chopped down like a tree.
They say grit your teeth. And the Grizzled Young Veterans have something to say.
Let us make something very, very clear. AEW is where the best wrestle, and that is exactly why we are here.
In other results, the Bang Bang Gang beat the Premier Athletes. Kyle Fletcher pinned Tomohiro Ishii. Buddy Matthews, Top Commander, and Top Flight, Action Andretti, and Leo Rush beat the Outrunners and the Iron Savages. And we close with some unfortunate news. Longtime professional wrestler and manager Sonny King passed away yesterday at the age of 79. Born Lawrence Johnson in North Carolina, King was discovered by Ernie Ladd in the late 1960s while working out at a gym in Montreal. Ladd directed King to the Sheik's promotion in Detroit, where King was broken in by Jack Britton and Lou Klein. After he first cut his teeth in Ontario, King began to make his name throughout Michigan and Ohio before departing on excursions to the states of Texas and Florida. In November 1971, King moved on to Vince McMahon Sr.'s Worldwide Wrestling Federation, where he had a run with the WWF Tag Team title, teaming with Chief Jay Strongbow to defeat King Curtis Iaukea and Baron Mikel Scaluna. King and Strongbow held the title for 36 days before dropping them to Mr. Fuji and Toru Tanaka. After departing New York, where the exposure in wrestling magazines had increased his visibility, King went on to have successful runs in the Carolinas for Jim Crockett Promotions, Eddie Graham in Florida, Lee Fields' Gulf Coast promotion, Bill Watts Mid-South, and in Memphis for Jerry Jarrett. In 1980, while working for Jarrett, King went to the Charlotte Coliseum to visit fellow workers. While there, King was involved in an incident with a fan where he was stabbed and severely injured. The fan pushed his way past a security guard to enter the back of the arena. When King confronted the fan, he was stabbed several times, puncturing his lung and nicking his heart. King would return to in-ring wrestling briefly, but transitioned into a managerial role. His most notable work came as the manager of the Wild Samoans in Georgia Championship Wrestling, as well as in Tennessee, where he at times cornered Joe Ledoux, Ron Bass, and Ricky Morton, among others. After fully retiring from wrestling, King ran a junkyard in Florida and had distanced himself from the business. Once again, longtime wrestler Sonny King has passed away at the age of 79. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.